What is up, everybody? Today I am super stoked to show you guys this video. Cressi and I, we just got back from an awesome vacation down to the Outer Banks. Today, this is a recipe I've been wanting to show you guys for a very long time, cooking a whole fish. So the Outer Banks, we had an awesome time, caught tons of fish, speared some fish. So we got this nice big old gator speckled trout right here that we are gonna cook the whole fish, speckled trout, sheephead, and then we've got this big old triggerfish fillet that we speared. But first, we gotta show you guys catching these fish. So let's go ahead, let's roll that footage, and I'll see y'all back in the kitchen. All right, here we go. Oh, sweet, you got your watch on. It's 11 o'clock. Yep. All right, y'all, here we are, another spearfishing mission. Cressi and Jay. That's what's happening. So we've got our tandem kayak right here. Jay's kayak right there. Jay's got a bucktail tied on. The ocean is insanely clear today. So we're gonna take these kayaks right here. We're gonna take them out to the ocean. Hopefully show you guys some more spearfishing. Okay, let's do this. Alrighty, spearfishing. Another day of spearfishing, another day of beautiful, beautiful ocean. I know. Oh! Dang, that's a beautiful wave. Gosh, this water is so clear. Oh yeah, let's get that net. Oh, he got off. Okay. There you go. Keep tension on him. There you go. Nice. Wow, that's a good trout. Yeah. He's going up for dinner. That's a really good trout. Nice. Nice catch. Flip him up into the boat. Right over here. All right, everybody, so here we are. We are back in my house, Chesapeake Bay, right behind me. Here we are on the home front, and I've got my fish right here in the cooler. And you guys absolutely love spearfishing. This is why I love spearfishing. I'm gonna show you guys why I love spearfishing right here. Because you get big old trigger fish and a lot of meat in the cooler. So right here, this is what I'm gonna do is we've got 3 different species that I'm gonna be cooking up tonight. So we've got sheephead, speckled trout, and big old trigger fish. So tonight, I'm super stoked to show you guys something I've always wanted to do, and that is cook a whole fish. So tonight, we're gonna focus on the speckled trout and the sheephead. Probably fillet the trigger fish and cook that as well, show you guys that. But I'm really excited to show you guys cooking a whole fish. I'm gonna prepare these fish so that we can cook the whole fish, and we're gonna be getting into some awesome food. So stay tuned, here we go. All right, y'all, so here we are. I've got the camera on a tripod, and I'm gonna show you guys right here. These are the 2 fish that we're gonna be cooking whole. So I've got the sheephead right here, and then I've got this big old gator speckled trout. And so these are the 2 fish that we're gonna be preparing and cooking, baking as a whole fish. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our fork and we're gonna remove the scales. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run this fork up against the grain, just removing all these scales off this sheephead. Okay, so we've removed the scales on this side, and we're gonna continue doing this process throughout as we're continuing to clean this fish. Now we're gonna flip the fish around and do it on the other side. All right, next fish, speckled trout. Go ahead and take a paper towel, and especially when these fish kind of sit on ice for a day or so, just wanna take the paper towel and you wanna clean off your fish as best as you can. And we're gonna repeat that same process with our speckled trout here. These speckled trout have a lot of scales. Any of you guys who you know, fish for speckled trout a lot, you guys know what I'm talking about when y'all catch them. So when you catch these speckled trout, they tend to be all slimy, and you gotta have a towel when you catch a lot of these guys. Look how many scales that there are on these fish. This is just like on my hand, just from rubbing the fork off. So that's the thing that you guys really want to do, is you really want to take this fork, have to do it, and you gotta take the scales off. Okay, so here's our 2 fish. We just got the scales off them all. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare these fish so that we can actually cook them. First thing that we're gonna do is some of the gross stuff is we are going to okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start here right at kind of the right here at this dimple, which is where the food comes out of the fish. You guys know what that is. So I'm gonna start there, and I'm gonna cut all the way up to the mouth, and then we're gonna take all the guts out of this fish. All right, so here's our fish. So we have most of the guts removed. We're just gonna clean it up just a little bit more. And then we're gonna also remove the gills out of the fish as well. And the gills, all you're gonna do is pretty easy. You can just reach in there and just pull them out. So here's our trout right here. So we've removed the gills, we've gutted our fish, and he's got a nice clean insides right there. So this trout is ready to go at the moment. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna repeat this process with the sheephead. So for all y'all dudes out there who are doing this at home, I would highly recommend cleaning as you go, so you don't make your wife all mad with all the fish guts and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and same thing, cut all the way up. All right, and then we're just gonna remove all the entrails. All right, so here's our sheephead. We've got most of the guts out and all the insides. So we're just gonna do like we did with this speckled trout. We're gonna take the gills out. So really at this point, at this step, all we're doing is we're just making sure that this fish pretty much has only the meat in it. So we're taking out, again, all the entrails, and the gills are super easy. You just reach in here, pull up their gill, and then you just pull it out. That's it. So it's really, really easy. So let's see if we can do, well, we already removed one on the other side. but that's it. So that's what you want it to look like. The inside of it is, you know, pretty much, we've got no red, no blood in there, and that's the biggest thing. So we don't want any of the blood and, you know, any of the guts in there, 'cause that's what, we definitely don't want that spoiling our meat, or, you know, obviously we don't want to eat that. So just go ahead and take your paper towel and make sure he's all cleaned up. All right, so both of these fish are all cleaned up. We've got all the guts out and everything. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the fins off. Take out these are the pectoral fins that we're gonna be removing. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna go ahead and open this fish up. So we're gonna start just really anywhere on the fish. I'm gonna start kind of right here on the back and just cut down right on the backbone. Just like that. I'm just gonna open up the fish. Okay, so what we've done is we've cut down the back of the fish and we've opened it up. I also cut down the other side of the fish and I opened it up. So I also cut down, I cut down the back of the fish right here, and then I also cut down the belly of the fish and we opened that up down here. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna score this fish down the side. So we've got this fish scored nice and, you know, right down the side of it, and that's ready for the ovens. We're gonna just repeat this on the other side. All right, and now all we're gonna do is the same thing. We're just gonna score it on this side. We do not need to go all the way through the meat. Just making thin strips down the fish, just like that. So this fish right here is ready to be sauteed and ready for the grill. So the benefit of doing this, you guys, is the meat retains so much flavor. Like when y'all leave the head on with these fish, it just, I don't know, it's something about it. It's like having a bone-in ribeye. So this right here, this is our sheephead, and this is ready to be sauteed. So we've got our sheephead and our speckled trout ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead real quick. I'm gonna fillet up this big old trigger fish. All right, y'all, so this right here, this is why I love spearfishing, right here. Look how big this trigger fish is. Giant. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna run these over some water, and we're just gonna make sure that we got all the scales off this fish. Okay, so once we ran them through cold water, we're just gonna take the fish and we're just gonna dry them. Give them a little paper towel, just pat them down. Okay, so once you've got to this point right here, there is absolutely no way you can mess up this recipe. All we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the oven on to 400 and we're gonna get a little saucy and we're gonna spice these fish up a little bit. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna squeeze some fresh lemon all over these fish. Make sure that we're getting both sides. And then we are going to add our spices to our fish. Today, gonna keep it relatively simple. So I've got oregano, garlic, and then I've got some herbs right here. Let's go ahead and we're just gonna put some garlic. So we're gonna put some salt. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this super fancy extra virgin olive oil, and we're just gonna put a light coating on the outside of the fish. Now we're gonna do, just to add a little bit of extra flavor, is we're gonna put some lemons, some diced lemons inside of our fish. My dad actually caught this speckled trout, so special shout out to my dad for coming out. He caught this big old speckled trout. Okay, so then we're gonna make these fish look super nice, and we're gonna put a bunch of these. This is basil right here, and then we've got some rosemary. Get a zoom into that.
Beautiful, babe.
Look how great that looks. So, all right, then the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sprinkle some onions. Feeling a little saucy. All right, y'all, so there it is. There's our seasoned fish ready for the oven. We're gonna go ahead, pop these in. We've got it on 400. Let's go ahead and put it in. And I don't know, probably give it like, what do you think, 15 minutes or so?
Yep.
Boom. Actually, we also have our trigger fish restaurant quality right here. Better than
All right, and then if you guys really want to savor the flavor, go ahead, grab some toothpicks, and you guys can just roll up the meat around the herbs and the lemon. It really keeps all those flavors in there. Marinates a little bit better while it's cooking.
You kidding me right now?
You kidding me, Smalls?
Look at that. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be
you have this huge
so sick.
pan just really.
Okay, so it's been, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and I think our fish is ready. I've been checking it, and it looks nice and white and flaky. So we're gonna go ahead, take it out, and dang. All right, let's hit up close up right here. Dang. So much flavor in this fish. You can taste like the lemon, the onions, everything. Look how, so when you guys go to eat this fish, watch this. I'm gonna peel it back and the meat just falls right off. Oh my gosh. That's the best speckled trout I've ever had in my life. This does not taste in one of the least bit fishy at all. So here's the sheepshead. Got some of that thyme on here. It's just like an explosion of flavor in your mouth. Just all those herbs and spices. That right there is how you eat a fish. Look at that. So when you go to eat this sheephead, look at this. It just comes right off the bone. Dang. All right, so I'm sitting here and this triggerfish is probably burning. Oh man. All right, y'all, so there it is. Go ahead and take our toothpicks out. So Cressi had a really good idea of rolling up our fish in our seasonings and everything and cooking it like that. And that was genius. That was an awesome idea.
Thank you, babe. Lots of,
Boom. It's hard to hold the camera and give a pound. All right, so here's our triggerfish right here. And we've got our spices on there and everything. Super white, flaky meat. Wow. That tastes, I don't know even how to say it. I can't even explain that. That's like, you guys have to try this. If you even catch any normal fish, your flounder, sheephead, anything that you have a nice fillet of, put all of these spices in here and just roll it up and just cook it with all that in it. And oh my gosh, that tastes, that is literally, all of this, all these fish right here is just an explosion of flavor in your mouth. Trout, sheephead, triggerfish right here. All right, y'all, I hope that y'all really like these catch and cooks because I'm just super stoked to show you all these new recipes and absolutely love every aspect of fishing. Going out, catching your fish, cleaning your fish, cooking it, and enjoying it. It's awesome. So anyways, you guys, thank you all for watching. We had an awesome time in the Outer Banks. So anyways, with that being said, you guys get up off your butt, go catch yourself some fish, cook up your whole fish just like this right here. And I promise y'all will not be disappointed. This was some of the best fish I've ever had. That's all I got. You guys get up off your butt, go catch yourself some fish. Peace out.